Hello guys, it's Ronin Black, the Black Goat, whichever floats your boat, and this is going to be a different type of video, something I've been kind of wanting to do for a little bit, just a video where I'm just honestly speaking, just a time for me to get something off my chest and to maybe help some people out, because that is the main goal of this channel, in my opinion, is to just have an outlet for me to be able to do stupid things, but also just a place where people can laugh and have a good time, you know? And I do realize that, coming on this platform, that I'm not the only channel like that. And, of course, just starting out, I'm not the most popular either. And, I can imagine just for, new beginning YouTubers, it could be really hard, trying to get your voice heard in a world that's already populated with, people who've been here from the jump, so they already have a head start. And this isn't going to just be about YouTube, it's going to be about, life in general, whatever you're trying to do. Because sometimes in life, you're going to want to, start something that everybody else has already done, for example, if you want to get into acting, there's a lot of actors already out there who who already have, a step, into that world, into that limelight, and you want a taste of that too. And it can be really difficult to try to start something new in your life. Even no matter how passionate you are about something, it can be really difficult to do something, especially if you start into it and then it doesn't go the way you planned. Again with YouTube. You go into it thinking you're gonna maybe not be viral at the start, but get a better reception, a good 100 views, a good 100 likes, and maybe a few hundred subscribers your first week or month, and then just go up from there. But it doesn't go that way, and sometimes it goes even worse, and it just doesn't go the way you expected. With the whole acting thing, you could try to do a few auditions and you just don't hear back from anybody, and if you do, there's I'm sorry, but we have better options, or just something like that. And even with the workplace, you put out applications everywhere and people just don't want to hire you, or just feel like they have better people to do the job, and it can make you feel a little bit inadequate, and just make you feel well, why am I trying to do this when people can do it better than I can? Or if they already have somebody for the job. My opinion on that is more just nobody can do a job like you can. Sure, there may be hundreds of millions of lawyers, hundreds of millions of, hell, even janitors, but nobody can do that kind of work like you can. And so I always feel people can do whatever they set their minds to, even if it takes them a little bit to get their foot in the door. You can do whatever it is you set your mind to. And it's definitely hard, depending on what you choose to do. It can just be a really gruesome undertaking, and it's going to take a lot of time and patience and dedication. And it's also one of those things to where the harder it is to get it, the more it proves how much you want it. YouTube famous, it's just if you really want to have a voice in this platform, you have to really be willing to work for it. So you can't just get, it's natural to get discouraged if you don't have the reception you wanted, but you can't stop just because it doesn't go the way you want. And if you do, then that just proves that you didn't really want it as badly as somebody else will. Because if you stop, somebody else will really start grinding and getting on, and getting their foot in the door while you're just sitting there wondering what's happening with your life, Nobody can do this for you. And you just have to go for it and just do whatever you can. Because sometimes in life, life sucks. And you don't get the things that you want, You don't get the 100 million subscribers. You don't get the, $30 an hour job, Or at least not at first, It just things take work. And it's best to have friends around you that can really help you to succeed. Not quote unquote friends, people who think that are cool with you, real friends who will stick with you and help you to get this stuff, underway. Because if you have something that you're really passionate about, whether it be YouTube or a certain job or getting to a certain school or a certain club activity or anything, it really helps you to have people who are passionate about the same thing. And it just makes it that much easier to work on, like just to have people around you that that are 100% without a shadow of a doubt cheering you on just makes it that much more satisfying when you don't give up and you don't give in. That may sound like a broken record, and I may not be spewing information that you've already heard, but honestly, it's just best to have people around you to help you to get where you want to go. And not to say that you can't get there without people, but it's definitely harder. People who care about you are like a priceless resource. Just having people who could cheer you on, having people who can support you, and having people who will really do whatever it takes to help your dream come true. And you do the same for them, I feel like if everybody has people like that, the world would be a much better place. If anything, a less darker place. Because there are a lot of people in this world who just don't have genuine people around to really egg them on to do the things that they want to do or should do, But life can be pretty fun, especially once you do get your groove. It may take a minute, but once you find your groove, you're just smooth sailing. I don't know. If I could give any advice about being successful in anything, I would just say to keep going. No matter how hard it is, just keep going. If this is something you really, really want to do and really passionate about, just keep going. If anything, it shows the people around you just how passionate you are about it. And it shows yourself just how much you're willing to really work for it. Because once you stop and look, it's just like, wow, I've done all this. I can't really stop now. I've gone so far and I can still go further. So knowing all that, it's just, one step after another, one foot in front of the other, and don't look back. Because the more you look back, the more you're like, this is how far I've gotten. The more you look back, the more you question things. And the more you question things, the more you start to wonder if everything is worth it. And I feel like you kind of have to ask yourself that question at least once. Because if you're really willing to work for it, it will be worth it. But if it's not worth it for you, and you're really not willing to put in the work, then going forward will really not benefit you well. A good balance of hard work really does make you a better person. Because it just makes you more determined to better yourself and to better the situation that you're in. Bettering yourself is something you should always strive to do. And I'm no motivational speaker or anything, but if I could help out anybody with what I'm saying, I would say just to keep going and to never give up. Because when you give up is when you sell yourself short, There's a difference between failing and giving up. Failing is when you try to do something, and it just doesn't work out. Giving up is when you put all your efforts to the wayside and just say, I've had enough. Giving it a rest is one thing, but completely giving up and stopping halfway before you even know what you yourself are capable of, that's not right. That's not fair to you. And when it comes to sharing your talents, it's not fair to anybody else because it could benefit somebody, It's like, what could I have to offer? Everybody has something to offer. Nobody can do the job like you can. There are hundreds and thousands of people in certain occupations. If there was only one person who could do a job good, we wouldn't have millions of actors, a ton of YouTubers, or, a ton of people making our, hamburgers every day at McDonald's, Us being unique, nobody does the same job the same. You are needed. It's one thing where it's like, you've gone so far, but you just can't go any further, At least then, at the end of the day, you can say that you tried. But never give up halfway until you really know what you can do. Always keep moving forward. Never give up until the very end. Anything is possible. And as long as you believe that, you can accomplish anything. Well, this is a random sort of, I wouldn't say rant, but more just like a message to the people that need to hear it, Because I'll tell you what, I needed to hear it. But I just hope this helped out somebody and made their day a little better. If you made it all the way to the end, I'd say just find somebody near you that, whether you know or wanted to get to know, and just let them know that you're supporting them, that you always got their back. And hopefully, if you guys are subscribed, that means that you have mine. So thank you guys so much for watching, and this is your friendly neighborhood black guy, logging off.